So basically, why did all of you join Retail Association of India? I'm assuming that all of you joined Retail Association of India to collaborate, to learn, and I'm sure it's also to basically bring about a solution which would help you and your organization in a much better environment, right? You also want to get a collective decision making that would help you and your organization so that we can take things further, right? So, just to introduce myself, my name is Sudhakar. I was the former CTO of Shriram General Insurance. I was with Oracle and KPMG in the US. That's just a quick background about me. So, I would like to bring this solution whereby, it's a personal problem. I lost about 2.5 crores of my personal money because of employees and agents conniving with each other. And that's what brought about this entire thing, if you like, right? So I got really pissed off and I started this, and now it's become a movement of its sort. Ultimately, I realized that this is not just my problem, but it's a problem for the entire country. Every company goes through this problem as well. So ultimately, we have now entered into some sort of a supporting association with Retail Association of India as well, whereby we're now trying to bring all you retailers in a single platform, just like how CIBIL brought about banks and NBFCs together to solve a problem of financial risk. We're looking at the human risk. So we have now partnered with FIDC, which is the association for all the NBFCs as well, Sadhan for microfinance institutions and other things as well. So why did we start all this, right? So you must have read articles about moonlighting, people getting fired for moonlighting. Article about money control talks about the fraud that employees commit. Accenture fired a large number of population for fake experience letters, right? Accepting offer letters and not joining, every company, every person here has seen this problem, has faced this problem as well. Prashant Pitti spoke about it. Another big challenge, India has become a hub for fraud and fraudsters. Right? So people walking into TCS office with offer letters which they did not give at the end of the day. For example, people, and this Bandhan Bank actually put out an entire video about how fake offer letters are basically floating in the entire situation as well. Right? The problem is even greater. $100 billion, that's what India loses to human risk. 9% of the revenues of insurance sector is lost. 54% candidates accept offer letters and don't join. Infosys loses 10 crores every year just on this one small little problem statement. 30% of SMEs and MSMEs go bankrupt because of this. 40% of the times there is a resume that you see has discrepancies. 20% of degrees are fake. The banking sector lost 1.38 lakh crores. So we always tell people, even one instance of wrong hire can cost the company lakhs and crores of money. Right? So, in fact, if you think about it, if it is a IT company, it is an intellectual property theft, could cost you lakhs and crores. If it is Rapido, for example, a Rapido driver who molested a woman, imagine the brand loss that it cost that particular organization. I've taken this example of 3 guys swindling about 30 crores from a private company in Chennai as an example. That's where we come in. We call ourselves TRST Score. So there are so many people who come and work within your ecosystem. You have employees, agents, customers, DSAs, partners, outsourced contract workers. There is a whole bunch of people who come and work within the ecosystem. But if you go back and ask your organization, hey, you know what, how am I going to risk mitigate? They will all talk about this one person called employee. That's about it. In reality, by checking that one particular person and leaving the rest of them, it is like keeping the front door shut, but your back door, window, or everything else is open. A security guard in your organization can cause more harm to you than even an employee can, as an example. Right? An agent of an insurance company can cause more harm to the company than an employee can. What do we know about them? Nothing. What do you know about the survey values? There are so many different people, gig workers, there are so many different people who do not come under the regular part of the ecosystem, if you think about it, right? So that's where we are trying to tell you that you need to risk mitigate 24/7, 365, and not only that, you need to look at the entire ecosystem and not just this, right? And BGV is a passive process, right? You do once and forget about it. Today, for example, let's say I'm calling you from Axis Bank. You must have gotten calls from Axis Bank. Today, there is all these frauds that happen have one commonality. I've written multiple articles on fraud, and in all these things, I found out there is one commonality. You're unable to verify the authenticity of that person who's talking to you, chatting with you, WhatsApping you, and everything else, if you think about it. right? So if somebody is calling you, say I'm calling from Axis Bank, how do you know he's really calling from Axis Bank? If somebody is telling you I'm an agent of LIC, how do you know he's really an agent of LIC? If you think about it, that's the fundamental problem that we're trying to solve. We give you a budget that can solve this particular problem, thereby helping you to not only risk mitigate, but also to save your brand image as well as a part of it. We start from offer giving all the way to the separation of the individual, basically entry to exit of any person. We integrate into your platform. We act like a UPI gateway in simple terms, right? Thereby helping you to risk mitigate effectively. We want to integrate with the HRMS system, CRM systems, lending platform, wherever you keep that information, we provide that API for you to integrate as well as a part of it. The product works in a very simple way. Everybody starts off with a fantastic score of 1,000. Everybody's a trustworthy person, ultimately. But until the company reports something otherwise. The score comes down if something is reported otherwise. You can also send and track offer letters. Let's say, for example, I came to you for a job. You can check if I've accepted an offer from a different company, provided that company is also part of the platform. That's where the partnerships or the association with organizations like Retail Association of India, FIDC, now is going to help us, because ultimately we want you to utilize it like CIBIL, where you need to come together. If you see that I've already accepted an offer, you can still give me an offer. I can continue to accept the second offer. Immediately the first company is notified saying that that other person is going to join some other company to your own risk mitigation strategies, thereby helping you to solve some of the problems that you have. We also provide background verification services. We'll talk to you about it a little bit later. So we want to remove the process inefficiencies in the system. Today you have Accenture firing so many people, for example, for fake experience letters. 4 months later, imagine the time that is wasted. What a waste of time, effort and money. Can we remove those process inefficiencies? If you believe the reliving letters and experience certificates, we won't do background verification in the first place. So we're saying, why not we just do away with this entire process? If you do not flag such people, it become a virus like it happened in SKS Microfinance as a classic case. A borrower in a bank is also an employee somewhere else. An employee somewhere else is also a borrower in a bank or insured somewhere else, as an example. Would you hire somebody who's committed a fraud submitted a falsified loan document or made a false claim in an insurance, as an example? We're asking banks and NBFCs, is there a correlation between absconding employees and his repayment behavior? There are so many different new metrics that we're bringing to the table at the end of the day. We think of ourselves like a LinkedIn with a green tick mark in simple words, right? So in LinkedIn, what do you have? Your experience, we're trying to partner with education institutions, skilling institutions, even tournament organizer can say, if I ran a marathon, you can say that the person ran a marathon, thereby helping you to risk mitigate. You see the 1,000 points there. If it is less than 1,000, clicking on the I will tell you why it is less than 1,000. Today, we want to break away with the risk silos. Today, if you think about it, there are so many different people who work. Today, Accenture firing those 5,000, 10,000 people for fake experience letters and keeping the data to themselves is a risk silo. What is the purpose of the data? Useless, if you think about it. If somebody is going to a bank and asking for a loan, giving a falsified loan document and keeping the data to themselves is a risk silo. We're trying to break that data, we're trying to bring data democratically available at the end of the day to make it more useful at the end of the day for the platform. Anything that you mark within your HRMS system, CRM systems and underwriting platforms reduces score of the person, thereby helping you to risk mitigate as well. Major advantages, 90% reduction. Wrong errors, absconding employees will come down, current employee behavior will become better, frauds will come down dramatically, offer acceptance joint ratios will become better. We're guaranteeing a 5% increase in your revenues. Simple, straightforward. Go tell your CEO that, and I'm sure you're going to get your approval for that as well. And today, for example, an Uber driver who makes 100 rupees from him, we ask him for a rating. Is the car okay? Is behavior okay? There are so many different things. What about all the vendors who are working within our ecosystem? We're bringing that also into this ecosystem, thereby helping you not only to risk mitigate, but also to better make services better for your own organization for that matter. For example, a recruiter who takes 8.33% commission from you and says, I'll give you a 3-month replacement. What if he doesn't give you the replacement, nor does he give you the refund? What are you going to do about it? We can help you to solve such problems as a part of this. The code of conduct of both FIDC as well as SADN stipulates that they must utilize our platform. So they put it as a code of conduct itself. That is why a lot of companies are partnering with us. The compliance and privacy questions always come up. We are like a SaaS platform. Let me repeat that word. We are a SaaS platform, just like a Darwinbox or a Keka or any of the softwares that you might, Adrenaline or your Acrivia, HCM, any of these platforms, if you think about it, we are like a SaaS. Data belongs to you, not us. If you believe what Adrenaline and Darwinbox and everybody else is offering, you should believe me too, because ultimately we are a SaaS platform. And we have built something called Trust SaaS PI Vault, which is both GDPR as well as new Indian privacy law compliant as well. Without the consent of the individual, you cannot check the trust score. So we ask you to add 2 sentences to your consent letters that you will be doing background verification and reporting to background verification companies, thereby helping the privacy of the individual as well. This trust vault can be utilized for you. The new Indian privacy law is like a Y2K problem. Many companies are not in compliant with it. We can help you to become compliant if you're not compliant. Of course, it's going to help you to make your profits go up and make sure that you're able to grow as well. And customers, these are some of the top customers. We got 200 plus companies already as a part of the platform and growing. I got half the Hinduja group with me, actually speaking. So in reality, all this is going to help you to make yourself, just to show you the kind of customers we have. Satish Mehta, who's the founding CEO and MD of CIBIL, is in my board. Srinivas Acharya from Sundaram Finance, MD of Thomson Reuters, 2 Sigma MD, CIO of KPMG, and Secretary of NHR and CEO of Maxwell there. These are some people who told something about us. So this is the Vice Chairman of Hinduja. Let me read that. Like all great ideas, one wonders why it took such a long time for it to come out. This is Sangeeta Mobile MD talking about us. He actually put it up in a LinkedIn post actually. He was very happy that we have associated with Retail Association of India and that, this partnership or rather this association is going to help the retail industry in a great way as well. The product is absolutely free for the first 2 years. There is no cost involved in coming on board. And we have started something called automated risk services. We are trying to do away with this entire BGV concept, right? We're trying to literally say everything. Today we live in the UPI world. We want instant gratification at the end of the day. BGV is like a check. We want everything to be instantaneous. We are providing all these checks which can be done in seconds practically, and we're providing all these services free. We'll do the prior checks free of cost for the first 2 years for you, just to help you get started and start to use Trust Score so that it becomes beneficial for you right from get-go as well. Today, for example, we also brought in something called real-time employment check. So today, for example, I'm working for HDB Financial Services. I can send an email to that particular person. He will log into the HRMS software. Instantly, I'll bring the full data from that HRMS software and give it back to you. Imagine being able to do that kind of check in seconds. You don't even have to worry about doing BGV in certain cases at the end of the day. We can provide you these kinds of instantaneous checks which would change the way. New thing that we have also brought in, it's called Open Jobs API. Think of it like an ONDC of jobs. There are 1,500 job portals in the market. Who has the time to go and log into each of these portals? Government itself is running 450. Each sector skill council has got its own job portal. States have sector skill councils. Then you have labor ministry, apprenticeship. That's all government. And then there are 1,500 other job portals. We are trying to make this democratically available by creating the ONDC of jobs. You sit in your HRMS software, you post a job, it will come to us through an API. Any job portal can pick it up. And the applicant will come back to your HRMS without you moving an inch out of it. Imagine the beauty of this, right? Today, your attrition problems, your problems of today are all because even though there may be a guy in the remote place who may be wanting a job, but you're not able to get to him. Imagine being able to get to that particular person through this Open Jobs API. Just like how ONDC has democratized e-commerce, we are democratizing the job and the job market at the end of the day as well. So that's about it. Thank you very much for your time. I hope that you will look at us. We have a stall right here outside as well. Please do visit us. Thank you very much.